Okay, now let's apply yes and in two separate functions. Yes and first as an ideation tool. Now, improvisation and specifically yes and is most common in business as an ideation tool or a brainstorming tool or a collaboration tool or a spitballing tool, whatever you want to call it. It's when we get together and it's about the number of ideas. And this is where yes and is used quite often because yes and forces you to enter into divergent thinking where you postpone judgment. You're pushing off the judgment just to collect the ideas versus convergent thinking, of course, where you take the collection of ideas that you have and you start whittling it down to a productive outcome. Now, in that divergent thinking phase, however, you use yes and to encourage other people to jump in. You encourage yourself to postpone judgment and bring ideas to the table. So that idea of fail early, fail often actually is executed through the use of yes and. And in doing so, what we create is a culture of acceptance, an opportunity for every voice to get heard, a celebration of diversity and different perspectives, the opportunity for people to participate, which creates intrinsic motivation in people because most people want to feel like they're valued and valuable to a team or an organization or even a process like an ideation session. Versus yes and as a communication tool. Well, as a communication tool, yes and forces you to hear what somebody else is saying and simply respond to what they're saying. And this is very important because a lot of people think that using yes and means that you unconditionally agree with everything people are saying. And that is not correct. Yes and is not blind agreement to what people are saying. Yes and is the ability to postpone judgment, and it's thoughtful understanding before you say yes or no to what somebody else is saying. And in doing so, what you end up doing is strengthening the relationship with the person or people around you because you're showing that you're taking time to hear what they're saying before you jump to your no answer or your but answer or for whatever reason you're not going to execute ideas, or perhaps you cherry pick and pick the best elements of what they're saying and fold them into your thoughts. And even if it's not about idea sharing, it's just about communication, what yes and does specifically is allows people to come together.